Have you ever looked at a thick textbook and felt a wave of panic? I have. The first time I faced a book that seemed to weigh more than my backpack, my heart sank. It's that moment when you flip through the pages and realize there's no way you'll remember all of it. The sheer size alone is enough to make anyone want to run for the hills. My first big engineering course dropped a syllabus with 50 chapters on my desk. 50 chapters! I remember staring at that number, wondering if it was a typo. But no, it was real. The syllabus felt like a challenge issued by some academic overlord. 50! It felt like being told to climb Mount Everest in sneakers. I wasn't just unprepared, I felt like I was missing the right equipment entirely. The task seemed impossible, and I could almost hear the mountain laughing at me. Each chapter was packed with strange symbols and concepts. Every page seemed to introduce a new language, and I was expected to be fluent overnight. It was overwhelming, like being dropped into a foreign country with no map. My first thought, there's no way I can do this. I felt defeated before I'd even started, convinced that I was in over my head. I procrastinated, convinced I wasn't smart enough. I'd find any excuse to avoid opening that book. Suddenly, even cleaning my room seemed urgent. The fear of failure kept me stuck. But then I noticed other students making progress, not because they were geniuses, but because they just started. They weren't waiting to feel ready. They just took the first step, no matter how small. That's when I realized, maybe my approach was the problem. Maybe it wasn't about being naturally gifted, but about how I tackled the challenge in front of me. I stopped seeing the 50 chapters as a single monster and started breaking them into smaller, manageable parts. I made a plan, dividing the work into daily goals, and suddenly the mountain didn't seem so high. The journey wasn't about being a genius, it was about having the right tools. I experimented with different study methods, flashcards, diagrams, group discussions, until I found what worked for me. Your brain is more powerful than you think, but you need to know how to use it. It's not about memorizing everything at once, but about building understanding step by step. Like driving a race car, you need to learn how the gears work. Once you know when to shift, you can go faster and farther than you ever imagined. Understanding a few simple principles can transform you from a nervous student into a confident learner. It's not magic, it's strategy, and anyone can learn it. Those 50 chapters aren't a barrier, they're an opportunity. Each one is a stepping stone, and with every step, you get stronger and more capable. With the right mindset and strategy, you can unlock your true potential. If I could do it, so can you. Let's see how. Did you know your brain has two incredible ways of thinking? They're called focused mode and diffuse mode, and together, they're your secret learning superpowers. Understanding how to use both can make a huge difference in how you learn, solve problems, and even come up with creative ideas. Focused mode is like shining a bright, narrow flashlight on a single spot. It's intense, direct, and perfect for tackling problems you already know how to approach. This is the mode you use when you're solving math problems, memorizing facts, or reading with full concentration. But sometimes, you hit a wall or get stuck. That's when you need diffuse mode. Imagine a lantern casting a gentle, wide glow, lighting up the whole room. Diffuse mode helps you see the bigger picture, make unexpected connections, and come up with new solutions you might not have thought of before. Diffuse mode kicks in when you're relaxed, like when you're taking a walk, showering, or listening to your favorite music. It's your brain's way of working in the background, quietly piecing together ideas while you unwind. The real secret to mastering tough subjects is learning to switch between these two modes. Start by focusing hard for a short burst. 25 minutes is a great target. This helps you load up your brain with new information and push through challenging material. Then, take a real break. Step away from your desk, stretch, or let your mind wander. While you relax, your brain is busy connecting the dots, linking new knowledge to what you already know, and making sense of confusing ideas. When you come back to your work, you'll often find that things that seemed impossible suddenly make sense. This is the magic of switching modes. Mastering 50 chapters, or any big goal, means learning to dance between focus and relaxation, effort and ease. Use focused mode to absorb and practice, and diffuse mode to connect ideas and spark creativity. Don't try to force breakthroughs. Trust your brain's natural rhythm. This back and forth is how deep understanding really happens. It's not about grinding non-stop or burning out. It's about working smart, giving your brain time to process and grow. So remember, switch modes often and you'll find learning gets easier, more fun, and way more effective. That's your brain's superpower. Use it and watch yourself grow. Now, let's talk about feeding information into your brain. Imagine your mind as a hungry creature, eager to learn, but easily overwhelmed if you try to give it too much at once. You can't just read 50 chapters and hope for the best. Trying to absorb everything in one go is like trying to eat an entire cake in a single bite. It's just not going to work, and you'll end up frustrated or burnt out. Instead, break information into chunks, meaningful pieces you can easily recall. Think of each chunk as a puzzle piece that fits into the bigger picture of what you're learning. It's like learning a song. First you master the notes, then the chords, and finally you can play the whole tune smoothly. Each step builds on the last, making the process manageable. Each chapter, section, or key idea becomes a chunk. By dividing your material, you make it less intimidating and much easier to tackle. Focus your attention on one chunk at a time. Understand the main idea and see how it connects to the bigger picture. This helps you build a strong foundation for deeper learning. Try explaining concepts simply, as if teaching a 10-year-old. If you can break it down for someone else, you truly understand it yourself. If you can't explain it clearly, review the material until you can. Don't rush. Give yourself time to really digest each chunk. Practice with different problems and examples to see how your chunks fit together. This helps reinforce your understanding and makes recall easier. By chunking, you turn a mountain into a series of small hills. Each hill is a step forward, and before you know it, you've climbed much higher than you thought possible. Build your knowledge, chunk by chunk, like stacking building blocks. Each piece adds up, creating a solid structure in your mind. That's how you conquer 50 chapters, one manageable piece at a time, until you reach the top and can celebrate your achievement. Passive learning, just reading and highlighting, doesn't work. True learning requires active recall. After studying, look away and try to recall the main ideas. It's harder than rereading, but that's the point. Each time you recall, you strengthen your memory. Summarize what you read, explain it out loud, or use flashcards. Retrieval practice is far more effective than passive review. When you can't recall something, you found a gap. Go back and review. Focus your energy where it's needed most. Make active recall a habit, and you'll truly master the material. Prove to yourself you know it. Cramming only puts information in your short-term memory. For long-term retention, use spaced repetition. Review topics periodically over days and weeks, not all at once. Each review tells your brain, "This matters, don't forget it." Like watering a plant regularly, spaced repetition helps knowledge grow strong. Create a review schedule. Revisit old chapters as you move forward. Each review takes less time and you avoid last-minute panic. Use apps like Anki or Quizlet to automate your schedule. Spaced repetition is efficient and powerful. You're not just learning for a test. You're learning for life. Make it part of your routine. That's how you remember all 50 chapters. And keep them. Once you've built your chunks, take your learning deeper with interleaving. Most students block practice, doing one type of problem over and over. It feels productive, but it's misleading. Interleaving means mixing different types of problems in one session. It's harder and messier, but it forces you to choose the right strategy for each problem. Real exams mix everything, so should your practice. Interleaving builds flexibility and true understanding. Like a baseball player facing all kinds of pitches, you'll be ready for anything. Mix up your practice across chapters. It's challenging, but it's the key to mastery. Don't just repeat, adapt. That's how you prepare for the real test and win. The most powerful tool for learning is your belief in your ability to grow. Your brain is plastic. It rewires itself with every effort. Every struggle, every recall, every chunk changes your brain. Remember, you're not born a genius, you become one through practice. The Mountain of 50 Chapters is now a series of steps. Each step builds your confidence and skill. Musicians, athletes, scientists, they all use these principles. They focus, take breaks, chunk, practice, and learn from mistakes. You have the same potential. Face your 50 chapters with excitement and confidence. You're defined by your potential for growth. Trust the process, believe in yourself, and start today. Your journey to mastery begins now.